Day 11 of my self journey. Yes, I'm a quitter, and a bit emotional yesterday. Actually, let's just start there, because after that video, I kind of got pretty bad. After that, my mind just would not stop. I just put myself into such a bad state, and the only person I can hold responsible for that is myself. Many years ago, before I became an emotion code practitioner, I actually experienced the emotion code for myself, and that's why I became a practitioner. And it helped me clear two conditions that I suffered from. One that I'd suffered from, I would say, my entire life, and was debilitating, and the hospital knew me by name. I could rock up in the emergency department and they'd just be like, "Hey, got a bed for you." So let's just say it was a regular part of my life. And they were head pains. But head pains, like, it's very difficult and hard for other people to understand, let alone try to explain it to somebody. And so if you said migraine to somebody, you'd times that by 1,000. In the head pain that I got, this was actually linked to a trapped emotion that I was suffering. And every single time that my mum and I would have a conflict, or my mum would be that her perception was right, I'm wrong, it would throw me into this state where within 24 hours I would be a complete vegetable and be in hospital. The head pains would become so intense that I would hit my head against walls. I would have burning hot showers just to try and, like, there was nothing, no painkillers, nothing could relieve it at all. The pain would become so much that I then would start vomiting, because the pain was so severe, it would make me vomit. The vomiting then got severe that I then would lose, my body functions and all capabilities of doing anything, and I would be laying on the ground, peeing myself, vomiting, and just not even being able to communicate or even feel like I was in this realm, in this earth realm of, it was just that intense. And these were kind of regular throughout my life, so much so that it was just my life. And they always came from a trigger. I'd kept food diaries, I'd kept everything, and it was a pain. It was an emotional pain that caused the physical symptoms. And when I had a session with an emotion code practitioner, I removed a whole heap of trapped emotions and heart walls, and one of those released this trigger. And from then on, I was able to communicate with my mum and see my mum without getting these reactions. I processed things differently, and it was just incredible. And so what was really, really interesting is that I haven't really had any of those episodes for a long time. Well, for nearly 3 years now. I've had smaller, what I would say is normal people headaches, which kind of, I can just deal with that. That's no worries. I don't take medication for it, because I can just, release it. But after that video last night, it threw me into that space again. There's obviously another emotion there that I need to work on, that's been trapped and caused throughout the situations of the last 12 months, and it's triggering the same physical symptoms. So last night, what was interesting is that previously, before, when I had these symptoms, there was pretty much always another adult around, be my husband or my ex-husband. Before that, there'd be somebody there who would be able to adult. Last night, well, I'm the only person here who can adult. I'm the only adult here. So when I felt these pains coming on, I did everything in my power to try and stop them. And when I'm in that physical state, it's very, very difficult to be able to tap into the subconscious and be able to remove the trapped emotions that are causing that when you're in that state. Your body takes over, and it's very hard to communicate between to get a proper answer and get everything the way it should be. So it's very hard to do that. And then I kept trying and trying and trying. I ended up thinking that I was going to be ending up in the hospital. I was trying to make the decision, do I get myself in the car and take myself to the hospital now before I am in that state on the floor where I can't function, can't move, can't think, and have to be picked up and carried to a hospital. But I didn't want to, and I know that the only thing they do for me out there is knock me out and put me to sleep and fill me up with fluids and things, and then I wake up. So last night was really rough. It was really difficult. But I actually have been putting in place different techniques and different things that I've learnt as an emotion code practitioner and as a personalized health coach, with what my priorities are and what I need. And I know place is a very big thing for me. So because I couldn't remove myself out of my environment of being in my home, I had to remove myself mentally from being in my home and take myself to a place where I felt good, where I felt comfortable, that put me at ease. And it took me a fair few hours to start getting to the state where I could actually lay down and be in bed, because the pains are so severe that you can't sit still. You can't lay down. You can't just stand up. You're just moving and moving and moving, trying to, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was very scary to sort of go through that again last night, considering I haven't been through that for a while, and knowing that I was on my own, trying to make correct decisions, whether or not I trust in myself, the power that I have, and the skills and knowledge and tools that I have to be able to work through it, or do I give in to it and end up at the hospital like I spent most of my life. So I chose not to give in to it. I chose not to let it overpower me. I chose to use the tools and the skills that I have, and woke up this morning and was like, yes, wow. Very impressed with myself and very proud of the things that I have learned, that I'm able to put into practice to be able to benefit myself, not only mentally, but physically and spiritually. But just incredibly, the skills are just, I'm proud of myself for all the things that I've gone through to be able to do that, and not be in the situation of just giving in anymore. So what was really interesting is that today, I was able to put yesterday in the past. I was able to focus on today. Today was also the 1st of April, so it was like April Fool's Day here. I thought I'd have a little bit of fun. We're still in lockdown here. Some people didn't find it funny. Most people did. So I chucked a post up on my Facebook saying, oh, great, it's just been announced that we're in lockdown now for another 14 days. Mind you, it's school holidays here too, so people are just like, no. So it was quite amusing, quite funny. That gave a bit of laughter today and a bit of fun. Having the kids all trying to do April Fool's jokes was really good to lighten the mood, especially after a day like yesterday. And what I loved, like I said, this daily mantra book is just, it really blows my mind how much it's in sync with my life and this self journey that I'm going through. And today was to leave things to leave in last week: mistakes, guilt, tears, doubt. Things to bring into next week: a smile, hope, love, and hard work. Another one from Jay Shetty. So, these are wise words for anybody who's going through a tough time. Leave the past and open your heart to the possibilities of tomorrow. And the affirmation was, my past has no power over the endless possibilities of tomorrow. And that's what I love about this journey. It's what I love about the processes and the skills and the tools that I've learned over the last couple of years, but mainly over the last 12 months. My life has definitely been difficult to explain the last 12 months, but the lessons and the growth have been intense, absolutely intense. And I know that when I have days like yesterday, I know when I have days that are very, very, very difficult, days where I feel like there is no light, days where I feel like just giving up, days where the negativity is so strong that I'm unsure whether or not I can even make it through the rest of the day, let alone the next day, and be able to use the tools that I have to move on and to, like I said, this journey is a self journey. It's about searching yourself. It's about searching the emotions, searching the triggers, searching the processing, searching the reactions, searching about that, embracing them, because if we don't embrace them, we're not going to learn from them. It's not about putting a band-aid on and sugarcoating it. We've got to embrace them and then learn from it. Because if we don't learn from it, we're just going to keep repeating the same shit in different circumstances, but the same emotional shit, the same physical shit. We're just going to keep going through it until we learn from it. And being able to forgive, right? Being able to forgive yourself, being able to forgive others that you've blamed or you've put guilt on. And from the state that I was in yesterday, I remember at the end of the video, I said that, I was searching and embracing, but still hadn't learnt or forgiven. This morning, I still am having a little bit of trouble forgiving, but I'm working on that. I've learned, I've understood that now, and today is a new day to keep working on that forgiveness. It doesn't matter because it was in the past. I just forget about it now, and that was in the past, because the triggers will come up again. That's the whole point of the self journey, is to go through the process, so when the circumstances, when other things happen in life, I don't go back to those triggers and fall back into those emotional and physical pains that I don't like, that I don't want in my life. So I don't want to just stick a band-aid over it, because the sore is always, it's going to be there. I don't want to put a band-aid over it. I want to be able to air it out and let it clear and let it heal, so it doesn't affect me again later on. And I want you to know that sometimes we are in a really dark place, and sometimes it's really, really, really hard to see the light. Really hard. And for those who are only just starting their self-awakening journey, for those who are only just putting the steps forward and the boundaries in place to say enough is enough and I want to change my life, I want to learn more, I want to have more joy and happiness in my life. It's a hard road. It's not all like rainbows and fairy tales and, happy skipping down the yellow brick road stuff. This is full on heavy shit. And you have to be ready to go through that. You have to be ready that when you go through those really negative, terrible, horrible, dark places, you need to turn your own light on, because if you don't have a coach, and this is what's so important about having a coach, right? Is that when you're in that place and you can't find the light switch, is that text or that phone call or that message to that coach, that is you flicking on the light switch. Okay? You've got to flick it on. So having that coach and having that mentor there, and not someone who's going to give you the band-aid, somebody who's actually going to help you call you out on your shit, that is where the growth starts. Think you can go through this on your own? And that's just your fucking ego. Okay? Get rid of the ego. Every coach and mentor throughout the world has a coach and mentor. The most successful coaches and mentors have coaches and mentors. And they don't just have one. They have one for different things. They might have health coaches. They'll have mental coaches. They'll have business coaches. They'll have growth coaches, financial coaches. Okay? Because nobody in this world is a master of everything. You need to embrace people who master their area of expertise and can help you in that personal space, not a master of everything. Okay? When you're in that dark time, in that dark space, that is your light switch. But you need to turn it on. Alright guys, have a great time. And happy April Fool's Day, even though it's past midday now. I hope you had some fun today with somebody. It's always a good laugh. You need laughter in your life. So bring laughter into your own life and bring laughter into other people's lives. There's so many people out there at the moment living life in sadness and haven't had a good laugh for a long time. So make somebody else's day shine. See you later.